Well, good afternoon, you beautiful steppers out there. Come on now, you know how we repping. If you don't know, now you know. That being said, look at where we at. We're out here on a pier, so I'm about to be open, close, and personal with you to make sure you don't fall. I don't want you to fall. Now, this being said, today, let's discuss the abundance rain. How to handle the abundance rain. It may sound easy, right? All you gotta do is just have money and just, let it keep coming, right? But check this out. There's a few things that I feel like you should understand, starting with this story. Now, there was this kid, 19 years old. He was a college athlete. He dropped out of college and he ended up working a full-time job as a car detailer at 19 years old. His initial plan was to go back to school, right? So that way he can get out and he can have a better paying 9-to-5 job, basically. However, for himself, he figured out while working 9-to-5 jobs that he was not fulfilled with the idea of going to work for someone else. Now, that kid, he learned about wholesale real estate. All he knew is that he did not want to live a normal life. And the heavens, they blessed him with learning about the idea of wholesale real estate. The universe brought this to him. Now, he had to do some dirty work. It took him 9 months of cold calling, handouts for the most part, cold calling to get his first wholesale deal. However, when he got that first wholesale deal, he went from earning $20,000 at 19 years old in one entire year to earning $20,000 at 20 years old in one single month. That kid is myself, right? Now, 3.5 years later, as I've been on this journey full time, there are a few things I feel like everybody should understand as they begin their journey of success and as they expect the abundance rain to be blessed upon you. You have to expect it, right? Now, this being said, today, I'd like to start off by giving you guys a few just tips and tricks and just things that I really wish I understood at the beginning when I first was earning, 5-figure checks at 20 years old. This being said, the first thing I want you guys to understand is that I went from earning income on a bi-weekly basis to what I thought was going to be a consistent freaking, every week basis, right? But check this out. It started off not as consistent as I'm making it now. When it started off, it was like, hey, I just got this 5-figure check. Now it's going to come again, right? It had to. It's what I believed. When I look back, though, the reason why it kept coming is because I kept working, right? I kept the same process that I had prior to receiving the 5-figure check. And that's the biggest tip. That's the first one. Keep that same process, right? Now, ideally, it's going to work out. Ideally, you want everything to be as consistent, more consistent, right? You're getting paid every day 5-figure checks, but you have to be able to consist with that process, persist through the same process. The reason why you have to be able to persist through the same process, and it's very important, especially when you just start off and you just start earning money like that, is because when you have, when you earn a 5-figure check, guys, your brain is going to change, your chemicals are going to change, especially if you're 19, 20 years old, 21, your brain chemicals are going to change. But you have to really pace yourself, step back, and this is tip number 2, step back and really understand that this is something that it happened, right? But don't over exaggerate. Don't over exaggerate in either direction, right? So check this out, just to start on the negative tip, because our minds, it's easier for us to relate to negative things. That's just a fact. This being said, check this out. Have you ever had a bad day? If you had a bad day, 9 times out of 10, in the moment you probably over exaggerated it, right? Whatever happened, you maybe say your whole day is bad because one thing happened. One bad thing happened, it probably was 5-10 minutes, and now you're saying your whole day is bad. That's an over-exaggeration. The same happens with positive things, guys. You receive a huge lump sum of money, you may go ahead and try to make huge life changes based off one lump sum. No, prove it, do it again and again and again. Now myself, I did at the end of my first year, when I first got that big check or whatever, I quit my job full-time and went full-time with real estate investing, and I also switch coasts, right? So I went from living in Ohio to living in Arizona, and now I'm here by water. You can check out that link up there in the description if you'd like to learn where I'm at. But that being said, guys, that's because I consisted and persisted. Remember, number 1, I persisted through the same process, right? I did not get that excited, right? Because I expected it, and that's what you really have to do. If you expect success once it comes, it's like, hey, now what's next? That's the reality of it. It's, hey, what's next? So that's what you got to be, right? Because the what's next is more work. What's next is more persistence. What's next is more consistency. What's next is more dedication to the journey. That's what's next. And speaking about the journey, this leads me to point number 3. When you're receiving income, guys, when I first started, right, my only goal was literally to earn money and to live wherever I wanted and to do pretty much what I wanted and to, earn income not in a, physical location, right? Like now after COVID, it's kind of common for a lot of people not to have to be in their physical location. However, when I first started, that wasn't a common idea. So this being said, once I achieved that, this is step number 3. This is point number 3, the journey. Once I achieved that, there was about a full year that I was like, all right, this is what I'm doing, right? I'm excited, I'm doing it, I did it, hey. In 2020, I went 2019 full-time, right? That was my first time being full-time for the whole year. And that was all wholesale. In 2020, by mid-2020, I started this YouTube channel, right? Steps to Success. The reason why I started this is because I was no longer fulfilled just by money itself. And this is number 3. Guys, money will not bring you fulfillment from the standpoint of that being your end-all, be-all. Just earning money is not a destination. What are you doing with that money? And this is what I learned in 2020, right? And this is how we're here today. Because what brings me fulfillment is what I'm able to do with my money, more than what I'm able to buy, from the standpoint of I'm able to buy, you know, a nice surroundings and, you know, nice things, whatever. That's great. But what purpose do I have, right? What's my purpose in this world? And that's what you have to figure out, right? Because wholesale real estate investing, it's a fun thing, right? It's really fun. But if your only purpose to wholesale real estate is to earn a check, you're going to become tired of the process, right? Because earning a check won't keep you going when you haven't earned, when you have not earned one, right? When you haven't earned one, when you're thinking of how to, when you're in the process of like, dang, why is this deal taking so long to close? Whatever it may be, right? In those moments, the money itself will not keep you going. It'll be about what you're able to do with that money, right? Now let's take it to a minuscule level. The minuscule level is that you're able to pay your bills, so that'll keep you going, right? If you're full time, then you know what you kill is what you eat, right? That's the difference. So that's going to keep you going. That's just off rip. The second part of it though, now once you got cash to pay your bills, like what you want to just keep going shopping, what you want to just keep going on vacations, what you want to just like keep going out and buying drinks and like taking girls on dates, like is that what you about? Nah, you ain't about that. You a stepper. So that being said, you have a fulfillment, you have a purpose, you have a vision to bring to life in this world. It's up to you to do it. And I looked at wholesale real estate in 2020 as a vehicle for me to bring my vision to life. And I have, you know, plenty of it. But that being said, it's been what has brought me fulfillment through my journey of success, right? And if I would have learned this in the beginning, I probably would have started sooner, right? But thankfully, faithfully, it only took me 1 year and the heavens blessed me with another path. So that's what I want you to realize. Number 3, guys, please, like, and I'm saying please because it's such a huge thing. Do not look at it for wholesale real estate or real estate investing, or when you're blessing your business, you just keep receiving all this money. Don't let the money just be the end all, right? I don't care if you received 100,000, 200,000, freaking 3 million, whatever it is. If you, like, now what do you want to do with the money? Just spend it? Like, yeah, you're going to spend it on things, but faithfully you spend it on things that making yourself feel better and the world a better place, right? So this being said, the number 3, it's the journey. It's not about the money itself, it's the journey. What are you able to bring to life? What other visions are you able to create? Great, you prove that you can do wholesale real estate. You prove that you can earn a lot of money in lump sums. Now, what are you gonna do with the money? That is like, it's huge, guys, so huge because it brings you more fulfillment. And you'll see, it'll bring you more fulfillment by watching your visions come to life than just earning the money itself. Now, that being said, it feels good to have business being great, right? So this is what I'm gonna bring you guys at number 4. Yes, it feels good for business to go great, right? It feels good for the money to be coming in easily, effortlessly. The money's just coming in, it's pouring in at this point, right? Like, it feels great. But at number 5, and it's really kind of a strong but with the money, pay your taxes. Yo, pay your taxes. That is like a huge thing, right? It's so huge because, and I learned somewhat about this in the beginning, right? But again, guys, I was 19, you know, there was nobody holding my hand that I seen be an entrepreneur successfully, and you know, they're like, hey, do this and do that, and nah, that is not how my life worked out. It was the complete opposite. It was like mostly everybody telling me that I'm tripping for doing what I'm doing and I need to go back to school. That was my reality, right? I had no, that was it. So that being said, what I would need you to understand is that in the beginning, let me be that person for you, right? Let me be that person to say, hey, pay your taxes. And the reason why I'm gonna say pay your taxes, and I'm not gonna just say pay your taxes, but set money aside. Pay in a little bit early. Do whatever you have to do. That way at the end of the year, because this is what happened to me at the beginning of my first year. Earned an ample amount of money my first year. You know, this was my freshman year of being full-time investing. I'm 20 years old. earn more than most people when they graduate. So this being said, if you'd like to learn exactly how much, click that link up there, or the link is in the description. Stay here with this video. All right, so what I want you to understand though is that set money aside. This way at the end of the year, you're not in a position where you're like, okay, I owe like $16,000 in taxes and I have like $6,000 in my bank account. That is not a good situation to be in, right? But that is the story of a young stepper, right? That's the story of a young stepper that's just, hey, you know you're gonna earn more money. You know it's gonna keep coming in because that's just what it does. So it doesn't really matter that much, but at the same time, it does matter because that peace of mind that you get from already having it paid, and at the end of the year, now you're like, hey, I got cash, you know, I got my investments, I got whatever. Then you're not thinking about how I'm gonna pay it, you know, before the deadline in March or whatever, right? So that's my biggest thing for you guys. Make sure you pay them taxes. That's huge. The money coming in, it feels great, but pay those taxes. All right, Stepper. So we got just a review. No, we got everything. But one other thing, just me talking to you from the heart, earning money and, you know, with it coming in abundance, keep a positive mindset, right? Guys, that positive mindset is so huge. Like, it's so big, and I'm about to tell you why, right? The positive mindset, your inner world controls your outer world. Your inner being is who you are. Your inner being is why you see everything you see. It's why you perceive everything you see, right? Your perception is your reality. We can look at the same thing. Two people look at the same thing and they perceive two different meanings from the same exact event. So this is huge, right? And let me tell you why. Save the best for last here. When I first started like the journey, right? And I look at the journey to the end of 2017, right? I stopped being a college athlete, dropped out, ended up coming back home. And it's snowing outside. I still remember like yesterday, snowing outside. I'm in a car thinking about like what I'm about to do with my life. It was about to be go back home to UC and like go to University of Cincinnati. However, I just told you, I found out 9-to-5 life wasn't for me. This being said, everything changed when I discovered a guy by the name of Ty Lopez. He was the first one that got me on my mental mindset increasing, right? Check out Ty Lopez if you haven't. Ty Lopez changed my whole perspective on life. Your perspective is your reality. He made me realize that my inner world is why I see everything that I see, right? And at the beginning, other people, Earl Nightingale, that was another one in the beginning. Darren Harper with the compound effect, that was another one in the beginning. Guys, I am where I am because of who I am inside. And I'm grateful for it. This is why my business has been thriving. This is why the YouTube channels has been growing. This is why the brand has been growing. This is why I am able to provide purpose and value to this world. It's because who I am internally. It's the same for you. And it's the biggest thing. It's the biggest thing, right? It's the biggest thing when it comes to earning income, right? It's the biggest thing when it comes to being blessed abundantly. And let me tell you why. I get goosebumps talking about it. I get serious talking about it because it's so freaking real. All right? Now, this is why. When it comes to earning money, guys, earning lump sums of cash, if you're not used to that, if you didn't come from a background of that, if you didn't come from like, I have transparency, I came from like a middle-class household, middle-class family, and didn't want for much, didn't need for much, but I, you know, definitely did want. This being said, when it comes to keep earning money and keep earning in lump sum, if you don't come from a background where money is just like natural, right? You're gonna start thinking like, dang, I don't want this to stop. That's what your mindset may become. And as soon as your mindset becomes that, it will stop. Because now your focus, every subject is two subjects. It's what you want and it's what you do not want. So you're saying, I don't want this to stop, which means you're thinking about it stopping. Versus you saying, man, I'm so grateful that this is keep coming in abundance. It's keep coming in abundance and it's coming bigger than ever. It's getting easier than ever. Guys, what you believe internally, what you tell yourself, your internal dialogue will become truth. A lot of people in this world, they talk about the opposite side of the spectrum. I don't want this to stop. Instead of I'm grateful it keeps coming in. When it comes to everything, right? I don't want to be fat. I don't want to be out of shape. Instead of being, I want to be in shape. I want to be healthy, right? I don't want my hair to fall out. Instead of saying, I want my hair to grow back. All of these things, I want y'all to really grasp a hold of this, man. It's so huge. And your mindset, your vibrational frequency, it's huge. Who you surround yourself with. Just to give you another indication about mindset. Save this to the end. I'm faithfully you guys enjoying it. Guys, when it comes to mindset, babies, have you ever heard a baby talk about money? I'm talking about 5 or 6 years old. This is the proof. Have you ever heard a 4, 5, 6-year-old talk about cash? I've heard a 4, 5, 6-year-old talk about cash plenty of times. I actually heard 2 different ones. I'll tell you a story if you have time. Now, I was in Walmart, right? Not my favorite place to shop, but they got good deals sometimes. Was in Walmart. I go in there, and I hear a baby telling her mother, like, hey, we ain't got enough money to buy this, mama. This is too expensive. The kid's like 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old, right? They don't work. They don't do anything for their money, right? But their parents has put this idea in them that they cannot afford this. The baby said, mama, you know money don't grow on trees. And the mama was like, girl, be quiet. And was laughing about this, right? This being said, on the flip side of things, I was in Target. I was in Target. Now, in Target, I heard a 4 or 5-year-old, 6-year-old say, hey, mommy, can you buy that for me? The mom said, no. The daughter was like, why not? It's only $6. What do you mean? The mom said, because you don't need it. She said, mom, it's not even that much money. Like, it's not even that much. It's just $6. The mom said, you don't need it. Put that back. I'll get you something else. What I want you to understand is that mother there, that child has an abundance mindset. The child saying, hey, that's only $6. Like, you don't need it. On the flip side of things, the mom, on the other one, the child had a small mindset, right? A poor mindset when it comes to money doesn't grow on trees. We can't afford that. Both of these children, they don't earn money. They don't work for it. They have listened to their surroundings, their environment, their vibrational frequencies. Guys, children can pick up people. We pick up things that are not said. We pick up thought patterns. So if you're around somebody with the thought pattern that is the opposite of success, you will pick up those habits. You will pick up those thought processes. You will pick up their energy. You will absorb their energy. And you'll become the average of what they are. So this is why it's very important to keep that positive mindset. And the way you keep that positive mindset, if you haven't picked it up already, so watch your surroundings. Who you surround yourself with. Surround yourself with people that practice the effective truth. It's not what they want out of life, it's what they have accomplished. What have they actually done? What have they actually done? I don't care if you want to close 1,000 wholesale deals. Have you actually closed one? Surround yourself with people who have actually done things, who actually stick to what they say they're going to do. Because the vibrational frequency that you get from that is out of this world. So this is my last piece. In order to keep that abundance reign going, because that's what I want. I want you to keep it going. I want you to keep it going. And the way we keep it going is by thinking positively. By thinking about keeping it going, not anything else. Nothing else that does not have to do with us keeping our abundance coming in. Right? Nothing else. And now I'm talking from the perspective of how faithfully you can see the difference of the way I talk. And guys, that's it. Faithfully you see the difference. You understand my demeanor right now. It's this way because I'm focused on what we want out of this thing. We want this thing to keep going. I gave you everything else simply so you can recognize the contrast in your own thought patterns. Your thought patterns will be the biggest determination of your success throughout your life experience, Stepper. So remember, the soon as you start to hear yourself focus on what you don't want to happen, pivot and focus on what you want to happen out of this life, all right? The abundance reigns is yours. There's enough for everybody on this planet. Literally, all you have to do is allow it in. And you allow it in by thinking positively and focusing on what you want out of life. From health, from spirit, from relationship, from everything you can imagine, from all aspects of life, from business, all of it correlates. So when you're thinking about what you want out of every area of life, you're getting what you want. And then when you're surrounding yourself with people who think about what they want and not thinking about what they don't want, and they speak in abundance and they're accomplishing things that they set out to accomplish, now that energy is rubbing off on you. All right? So that being said, you Stepper, think about this. Everything you want is right here, right? So right over there. Right over there. All you have to do is allow it in. Everything you've ever thought about is right there. All you have to do is allow it in. That's what I'm doing. I'm allowing it in. So, in other words, as we both allow, we get to stepping.